Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Roma in Football Manager 2019. I'm Ater, and since last episode I played a few games. First we had the quarterfinal of the Italian Cup versus Inter, and we really had to fight for this win. We got an early red card, and they were leading at half time. Then we managed to bounce back, and then during extra time, in the 114th minute, Nicola scored the winner. But look at statistics. We were one man down for most of the game, and we still dominated things. A very frustrated red card, completely unnecessary, and yeah, Marcano, I really told him that was a garbage red card. We followed that on up with a huge win, but of course this was a friendly. This doesn't count. It's a game we should be winning no matter what. And then we got a good win away versus Atalanta. And today we are playing Napoli, and we're actually going to play Napoli twice, as you can see, twice in a row. First now in the league, and then we have them in the Super Cup. I don't care about the Super Cup. Yeah, it's fun if we win it, but I'm clearly going to prioritize the league over the Super Cup. But talking about the league, Napoli is currently in second place, but I'm not so saying they were second place when I look at this a day ago, but of course Torino's played one more game, now they have better goal difference or something, but Napoli of course have one less game played than Torino and one less game played than us, which means we have a huge lead, bigger lead than we ever have had in this series. But the thing is, if Napoli win, it's more or less like a 6-point game for them, and then they have one less game, which this could bring them up to quite a few points. Still, we are pretty safe. We are going to have a big lead, but I mean, they could be closing in. And another thing that have been going on is the transfer window, and let's see if I can show you here. It just closed a few days ago, closed really early here in Italy, and nothing has changed for us. We didn't sign anybody, and actually it was a very calm transfer window. I think the biggest spender in Serie A spent like 5.5 mil or something like that, so basically nothing. The annoying thing is, of course, other countries, their transfer window is still open, and they tried to steal my players, and it's so frustrating, I must say, because a lot of my players are unhappy now because of that. Like players like Schick and not Pereira, but Arp and Marin and Pellegrini and so on. Players get unhappy because I get offers and I decline them. And the thing is, and I mentioned this so many times before in this save, the offers I get, they're joke offers. I like every single offer more or less I get is less than their current value. I can get, like, for example, let's say who are we going to talk about? We could talk about somebody at the beginning. Yeah, let's say Schick for an example. So a basic offer that I would get for him is somewhere between 40 and in best case up to 60 mil, but like 40, 50 mil and so on, and then they get like 50 mil and 20% from of the profit from next sell on. Offers like that, why would I ever accept those offers? And the weird thing is, when I scout players in other clubs, and I've been scouting a lot of players, I'm scouting players all the time, they often come up like, yeah, expected like price would be like 150 to 200 million and something like that, and that's players that are at the same levels as my guys. So why would I sell a player that are at the same level, even better, because a longer contract, being younger, for like 50 mil, and then try to sign a replacement that are weaker and pay like 150 mil? It doesn't make sense. Why do they think I would let them go for a price like that? And I mean, this club, if you take account the season that happened in real life before this save started, in the last 4 seasons, the club has reached Champions League semi-final, 3 of them. So why would a player be that eager to leave the club? You're playing clearly, if you reach the Champions League semi-final 3 times in 4 seasons, you're clearly one of the best clubs in the world. It's just so weird that they think they can get my players for like less than their current value. Other than that, 2 players I want to mention is 2 players on the bench, and Sossi and Gerson. They are both back from their injuries, been out for like a month each. This is the first game they are back. They are both on the bench. And of course, they are very important players for us. I'm glad to have them back. Had to be a little bit creative, because with them out, I basically only have had Tonali and Under as normal players in those positions, which means I've been playing up some players on like wrong position or youth players and so on. But here's Under with the cross into the box. Here's Kluivert. Moreno is going the wrong direction, guys. This is not where we wanted to go. It's Upamecano, Tonali, Upamecano. Changes flank for Florenzi into the box. An early cross is cleared. Cristante picks it up. Moreno back to Cristante. Back to Moreno. A lot of places in the box. Can he find somebody? Goes for Inda. And what a comeback. He's been out for no, not Under. Under hasn't been out. I'm just mixing things up. But it's a goal, and I'm happy. I'm pleased. I mean, taking the lead away. It was basically kind of an early league final. It's great, and that cross from Moreno is perfect. Finisher from Under is brilliant. The reason I was talking about Under as it was a comeback for him, but clearly it wasn't. But he's been benched for the last 2 games, and the reason for that is that 2 games ago, of course, we played that friendly during the January break. And with Gerson out, I didn't want to risk Under, so I benched him. Here's Nicolas, and just outside post. And then for the last game, of course, I realized that this was going to be the tougher of the 2 games compared to Atalanta. So basically, I benched my best players for last game, because it's only been like 3 days of rest or something like that between these 2 games. So I benched him for that one too. He's been benched for 2 games, and yeah, we got the result we wanted from him, because he come back on fire, scoring ASAP, and early cross, Nicolas fixes it up, and actually a pretty good chance, and I feel like he could have done better than Nicolas. In there with the corner instead, clear by the defense, but Upamecano picks it up, Cristante, Tonali, Tonali breaks through, kind of ish. Well, a big issue on that one. Yeah, another thing about the transfer window is oh, that was a misclick, but it looks like it had a decent effect, I guess. Is our former goalkeeper, because you know we signed Donnarumma for this season, but I sold him, but during like in August, but it was after or at the same time, something like that, as the transfer window closed. So you actually haven't left us until now, when the transfer window opened in January. So the deal happened many years, not many years, but many months ago, but he didn't leave us until now. And of course, we can't be pleased with that one. One lad with a 7-point-something rating. Both, I mean, 6.3, 6.4 is a disaster. We're lucky to be in the lead. We need to step up. We need to perform even better. We need to come out stronger here in the second half, because if we don't, this one can turn around quickly. So hopefully we can step it up a notch here in the second half. But still, this result is just brilliant. If we can get 3 points away versus Napoli, I mean, we already have such a glorious lead. Here's Indo with the corner. Clear by defense, Kluivert picks it up. And look at that one, Justin Kluivert. His 5th goal of the season. Just near the post. Brilliant place. Take a look at the replay here. First we have Indo with the corner, then it's cleared, and look at this one. He looks up and he basically places the ball just by the post. Perfect finisher. But yeah, this result is just fantastic for us. If we can win this one, great interception there. We have Cristante, Kluivert, Florenzi, Inder. Trying to go all by himself, and he kind of does. But here's Kluivert, and of course Kluivert has a lot of self-esteem from his previous goal. So took a shot here, a bit optimistic, but I like it. But yeah, considering we already have a huge gap, 3 points away here is just, I mean, if we continue like this in the league, we are going to, for the first time, oh, look at that, it's a bit lucky, but it finds the net, and I take it. I always take goals, no matter if they are lucky or not. But take a look at the replay here. Into the corner, and I think it was Arp, wasn't it? Maybe, yeah, Arp, and then Nicolas, and then basically bounces off the goalkeeper right back at him, and yeah, it's a goal, and every goal counts. But yeah, considering the situation, I mean, you know, like every season, we have been fighting for the title. It's not been like we have taken it easy, getting it for free. We have been fighting for it. I think it's time for a comeback down for Nsossi. They're going to replace Cristante at the same time. But yeah, we've really been fighting for it each season, and I mean, I think it was like the first 2 seasons where like we had like 3, 4, 5 episodes in a row where we could have won this title if everything would have went our way, but it didn't. So we'll you said like, okay, one more episode, one more episode. And here's our breakthrough all by himself. Look in the middle, look in the middle. Here's Nicolas, here's Nicolas, and he makes no mistake. His 8th goal of the season. And of course, Nicolas kind of have been a little bit underperforming, considering the expectations we had on him this season. Considering his sensational season with Sassuolo last year. But at the same time, I feel like with Art being the big dog here, probably in many games, like our players looking for Art and setting Art up because he's the man, and that of course gives Nicolas less chances. So let's see here. One last sub. Who do we do? What do we do? Looking at all the options. Clevitt been brilliant. I think we're gonna go with him anyways, because he has a yellow card. Let's not risk anything here. Marin actually was brilliant in last game, that Atlanta game. I don't remember if he scored once or twice, but he did score. But yeah, what I was saying before was we have had so many seasons where we've been struggling to get the winner or win the league, where like it was round after round where we had a chance but it didn't happen. I feel like this season could be the direct opposite. If we can keep playing like this, we are going to secure the league title very, very early compared to the other seasons, and I'm clearly not complaining about that one. Actually, I'm very happy. I think I'm actually going to go passionate here because this was an early league final. We were playing away against the team that's been basically in second place lately in the league and are one of the favorites. I mean, this is a brilliant result. I'm going to go passionate. I'm going to tell them I'm very happy with the result and the way you played. And I mean, especially the way they improved for the second half, going from a lot of garbage ratings to a lot of really, really good ratings. So I think this is a right choice, and they all agreed. Brilliant. And then just let's take one look at the league table before we end this episode. But yeah, look at this table. This is sensational. And of course, yes, we have one more game played. We even have 2 more games played compared to Juve. So it's not this big, but still, it's a huge lead. Really, really big lead. And yeah, I hope that we can keep this one up. Because if we can, not only could we secure the title early for the first time in this whole series, this also means that it could give us room to rest players to focus on the Champions League. And that would be brilliant, because you know how desperate we are for success in the Champions League. But that's it for this episode. As always, thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one.